Who's in the gym? Conversation with a current who, a surprise guest, and more. Welcome to the JWILLY Show. I'm your host, Mark Jerome, and the other gentleman on your screen is none other than Jason Williford. And
what's up, Mark?
What's up, JWILLY? And let's not forget DJ YB, who we have to thank once again for the beats.
What up, everybody?
YB,
I'm digging the new gear. Why I'm digging it.
Oh, you see that? You like that? My man, appreciate that. Compliments to my man Joey Biller for the logo and all. Boom.
I listened to the live show last Wednesday.
I didn't know you were on there, Mark. My bad. I missed you, man. I'd have shouted you out. That's for sure.
You should have, because I was talking about how you were honoring the East Coast rappers, and I thought you had an affinity, and I thought those were your top dudes, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. But then the next day on the Foches show, you mentioned to me, when I thought those were your favorites, you mentioned that you were doing kind of a tribute to the East Coast cats.
Yeah, it was definitely a tribute, but still, those are probably my three top five, and you get no argument with me in the top five if you say one of those is your favorite. But Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, yeah. But I have others that sort of paved my way to my hip hop, my path that I'm on and still going on and all that.
Who are your top five, YB?
Ah, man, now you're getting me into, I can't put them in order.
You don't have to.
I would say Nas is my all-time favorite artist. But I probably would also say that Andre 3000 is in my top five as well.
Wow.
He's in a great space, man, because he sort of got out of, the vigorous, everything of just how the game is, and he records whenever he wants to, does something when he wants to. The trends that he set, he came out. A lot of the artists that are out now, I think they should thank Andre 3000, just because he took all the bullets and the darts of just being his own guy, dressing how he wants to dress, and the jokes that came with it, all of that stuff. But long time ago, I remember there was a Source Award show, and Outkast, probably their first couple years out, but they won the best group, and they got booed. It was in New York. And Andre 3000 took the mic and said, basically, the South got something to say. And that was probably like 1998. And from that point on, the South has owned hip hop, So it's crazy because New York, they're kind of confused right now, Mark.
And you got a New Yorker on here. He's not happy about that. Why?
I know, but Jay, they're confused. You turn on the radio now, you can't tell if a New York artist is from New York or Atlanta. I'm just telling you, that's what it is. They're confused. That East Coast New York sound is sort of turned into something else. Like they're following trends now, and they used to be the trendsetter.
I want to hear your fifth guy though. You only gave us four. Who's five?
Well, yeah, I got Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, and Rakim.
Okay, so
and Andre 3000.
You named four New Yorkers.
I did, but when was that? When was that based on? Back in the day, they knew who they were. I mean, we were following New York, and I'll tell you this. Okay, when I thought about this because I knew you was gonna probably ask me this, but my first rap song I probably remember hearing was Grandmaster Flash, The Message. Yep. And I'm not even 10 years old when that comes out, but that's the first time I hear someone not singing, but rapping like poetry, and I'm probably hooked as a 6 or 7 year old, And Run DMC had a big influence on me. I was a huge Run fan. Then when I saw Crush Groove, LL Cool J, that was my dude. But when Rakim dropped,
the New Yorkers, you name it, all New Yorkers. Hey, why?
I know.
I'm a little disappointed that Tupac is not in that top five, and
he's in the top 10.
I would say people sleep on this guy, but I got to give Black Thought a lot of props.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I put him in my top 20. Really, anybody in the top 20, I'm not going to argue with you. Like, if you say Black Thought is in your top 2 or 3, I'm like, cool. But after the top 20, I'm like, nah, get out of here with that.
What about Lil Wayne?
Nah, I can't put him in my, well, I respect him a lot. But no, I can't give him. As far as lyrics, metaphors, Lil Wayne is very clever, but I just can't. Lil Wayne is like the first mumble rapper.
See,
you know, he started that. That's Lil Wayne.
Hold on.
But when you see the lyrics of what he's saying, it's a masterpiece. I give him that. But he started that whole, my rhymes are based on substances, you know?
All right. YB, we can continue that either on the YB show on Wednesday nights or the Foach's Corner on Thursdays. Thank you for that information. And we very much appreciate your history lesson, all your musical education expertise.
We'll see you at the end of this, Y.
No, but hold on a second. Hold on. We're not done, YB. Last week on the Foach's Corner, which is with Phony Bennett.
Right, the Foaches. That's genius.
Which comes on every Thursday night. Right. YB talked about how you confetti strained his car while you guys were in school together. Do you remember that?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that, JWILLY?
That was not.
YB didn't think it was a joke. YB didn't think it was funny.
That was not one of my better pranks. It backfired on me. It was way too hot, and the string confetti melted into his rag top Geo.
So my leather convertible top. Where did you get the string confetti from? Probably one of the kids at Lakeland.
I can't remember where I got it from. I might have took it from one of the kids.
I was about to call the police, man. I was this close. Chris Havlicek saved you.
Wait a minute. Did you know he did it?
I didn't know who did
it.
I didn't know who did it. But Chris Havlicek ratted on you. Because when he came out twice. The first time, I guess he was like checking my temperature, you know? And I was pissed off. I'm out there scrubbing with a bucket of soap and water. And I'm telling Chris, yeah, I'm about to call the police because I don't know who did this. And, you know, this is messed up. It's damaged now. So he went back in. I don't know if he told you. And, but then he came back out and he's like, YB, don't call the cops, man. JWILLY did it. You know, so next thing I know, you were coming out. You just grabbed a sponge and started cleaning. You ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing to you. I still wanted to fight you. Because, I mean, you out there helping me clean the rag top, but that's only because you knew I was about to call the cop. Man, that's the ride. That was our ride. Like, you didn't have a car.
Mark, that might have been the maddest I've ever seen him.
I transported all of the 5 of us in that vehicle. I was the only one with a car, and you spraying confetti on it.
Yeah. It backfired.
How long did you stay mad at him?
Well, after he came out and helped me, I wasn't mad anymore. But I still didn't talk to him for a minute.
It was one of the maddest times I'd ever seen the dude. He would have definitely whipped my butt that day.
All right, YB, thanks. We're gonna catch you at the end. Will you take us home after we're done with the show?
All right.
JWILLY, before I ask you how the week is going, I'm loving your wall back there. Seems like you're dressing it up more and more each week.
So, you know, shout outs to T-Dub for getting me the JWILLY show poster. And then my wife actually, everything you see that's framed back there, my wife got some of that stuff framed for me. So that's an old jersey of mine. In the national championship, that's actually a towel that she got framed, couple of hats, and then that's a piece of the floor with the score of the title game I think that's what it is behind me. So pretty
Great.
cool.
It looks awesome.
We're gonna make this the UVA room. We're gonna get repainted, and we're gonna jazz this room up a little bit.
How's the week going?
Going well. Going well.
You know, summer's flying by fast, as usual.
I can't believe it's August already. August what? 10th?
August 10th.
Crazy.
When does school start for the boys? When's it scheduled to start?
So
For your sons.
say again?
For your sons.
Oh, my boys,
Yeah,
not UVA. Oh, okay. My boys start August the 20th.
Okay. So our new audience members may not have seen earlier episodes, and they might not be aware of your affinity for homeschooling.
Yeah, they got no clue.
Has there been any talk in Charlottesville about delaying the school year in school and virtual learning
For
your sons?
No, so they go to the private school here, so they're in school. But as far as the county, Albemarle County, and the Charlottesville City schools, I think they're all going to be at least virtual through the new year, is what I think. Trust me, I haven't been following. All I know is mine go back. I'm excited that they're going back. But to St. Anne's credit, there's masks, there's a bunch of protocols in place that they're going to adhere to, temperature checks daily. Like this, it should work.
So as of right now, you won't be doing any homeschooling.
I will not do homeschool. And in fact, if I have to, Cam will still have to go to school and Austin can stay home.
Those are some hysterical moments. You sharing how you love teaching Cam at home.
No, we're not going to do that. But in all seriousness, I got a feeling we'll be all virtual before it's all said and done. So, but we're heading back next week.
All right, let's get to it. You've been in the gym with the team for a few weeks now. How do the young guys look?
They look good. You know, I'm literally just getting back. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are workout days, so I'm just getting in the house. They look good. There's a learning curve, obviously, with the speed of the game and the physicality. But there's a lot of skill. Those guys, they got a lot of skill. And it's just a matter of picking up, getting acclimated to the pace and kind of what we're doing. We did today, we got into a little more team stuff. It had been more small group oriented the first couple of weeks, and we got into some team stuff and a lot of 4-on-4 and just them trying to figure out how to defend at the college level, and so they're getting acclimated to it, but
right.
They've been good.
So specifically, I'm going to ask you about four young new guys.
Okay.
Reece Beekman.
Very good with the basketball, quicker first step and ability to touch the paint than I even anticipated. And he's been really good. Knows how to play, high IQ. Besides getting stronger, I mean, he's a thin kid, but besides getting stronger, he's gonna be good. And I think it's just, you know, the confidence to take shots and make plays. Sometimes, you know, as first years, they tend to defer a little bit when they're out there with the older guys, and you know, he's got to have the confidence to just make plays and do what you do, and that goes for all of them. But he's been good.
Jabri
does not lack for confidence. He is very confident in his ability offensively. We've got to slow him down a little bit because he wants to put it in the cup or at least take an attempt on every touch. So that aggression we really like, but he's got to figure out when to go, when to defer, but he's been good offensively. He's pretty good, a 3-level scorer, but then he's got to really work on his defense, and that's just going through the reps, getting a lot of closeouts. So we've been on him defensively, being able to guard. And I think that's the next step for him. His offensive game is big time, but can he defend? Can he defend at a high level and at a level that we're going to need him to? So he's working.
Carson
McCorkle has been good. He's making shots. Like I've watched film. This is going on week 3, so watching practice, when we get it, when we're playing and we're doing stuff that's competitive, he actually puts the ball in the bucket, and we need that. Obviously, shooting was one of the things that was a weakness last year, but his ability to make shots, and I mentioned before, he's a really good finisher going to the bucket when he can, play off 2 feet. He's a big time leaper off of 2 feet. So he's been good at going and finishing, but he too will have to figure out how to defend at this level, and be continuous.
How would you compare him to Kyle Guy?
He doesn't. I don't know if he's as quick and moves and shoots it the same way Kyle. Like Kyle could just fly. I mean, Kyle Guy could shoot shots where he wasn't even turned, and then he just turns in the air. Carson doesn't have that. He's more feet set guy, but he's got a quick release. So on a lot of penetrating kicks where guys are getting him shots, he can make those.
Yep.
Moving and shooting, he'll have to work on that. He doesn't shoot. Kyle Guy was phenomenal doing that. Very few can do that.
Yeah,
just square up and catch and shoot, and from the arc like he did. That's inside the arc's a little different, but to be able to square up like that from behind the arc, Kyle Guy was special.
Yeah, I know, big time. I know we all know this guy's not playing next year, and somebody I know you're really high on, Trey Murphy.
Trey's been good. He's we're trying to put some weight on him. He's a legit, maybe 6'8.5", long, can shoot it. He's really good ball handler for his size. That's been a real pleasant surprise for me. Can put it down, but just trying to get him to get stronger and play through some bumps and contact, and again the defense. Working on all of these guys defensively are going to have to work. It's just not natural how we defend, so they're all adjusting to the defense.
I remember one of the first conversations I had with Ty after his first practices. He was just like, we do defensive slides for the first 45 minutes of practice. He said, I'm so sore.
Yeah, no, it takes some getting used to. And then once you figure it out, you know where you can get a little bit of rest, and obviously you got to be good on the ball, but off ball you can, as long as you're in the right position off ball, and that's the biggest thing for these guys, positionally, where am I when I'm not on the ball, and then being able to guard the ball. We say guard a yard. You got to be able to guard a yard both ways. So if they can do that, then the adjustment becomes a lot easier.
Right. All right. It sounds like one of the nation's top recruiting classes is well on its way.
Where?
And we cannot forget about the contributions from last year's new guys, including this sharpshooter's game winner against UNC.
Hey, when I tell you, I called that, Mark.
What does that mean you called it? You called the play, or you called that he was going to hit it?
I called, so I knew what Tony was going to call out of the timeout, and Carolina had given us way too much time. And I said, as you know, we break the huddle and the coaches are going back to sit down, and I tap O and Sodi, and I say, "This is a bucket. We're making this." And so my reaction, I don't know if anybody has seen like the reaction of the bench. Everybody goes crazy. Sodi gets up, gives a fist pump, and I just sit there, and I'm like, "Told you," like I'm saying to myself, "Told you so." And so like everybody was like, "JWILLY, you were too calm," and I'm like, "No, I called it." And Sodi and O can vouch for it. What's up, Tom?
Look at, and that was Thomas. Thanks so much for joining us. That was a great moment for UVA basketball last year, and a great moment for you, Tomas. That shot won the second consecutive game for UVA during an 8-game winning streak to end the season. Thomas, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
How was your summer?
I had to work it out. Didn't go home due to coronavirus, so I just hang around here. I went to Iowa to see some family friends and just hang out there.
What did you work on this summer to improve?
I worked on my finishing around the rim, floating game, just because thanks to the end of the previous season, I got a little bit hot around the arc, where people now I'm assuming they will run me out and try to make me score the ball in different ways.
And you found a gym in Iowa to work on that?
Yes, I went back to my junior college school, and I was a guest by my head coach.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So last year, when you got to grounds on UVA, what were you thinking? Were you like, "This is incredible"? You came from Italy to junior college to UVA. What were your expectations?
Yeah, I always tell this story where coming in, I flew from Chicago, and then I got in, and TB was doing one of his meal with the staff at UVA, and he like called either JWILLY or Coach O and just told them to bring me to ground, because there was just this great environment with everybody just having a buffet by the lawn and just having fun, just taking pictures, and there was great lighting coming down from the sunset, and it was poetic, and yeah, TB just came in running in with his suit, and yeah, that was my first impression of UVA. So like it was just almost like looking like painted on a canvas.
Yeah, I'd imagine a lot different than junior college.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What were your expectations the first day of practice? What were you thinking when you got there? Were you like, were you overwhelmed? Were you thinking you were going to fit in? Did you think you were going to get playing time? Did you think you were going to be one of the top shooters on the team?
Well, I thought of just doing my job the best way I could have, but also like I was overwhelmed by the injury that I had, where I broke my wrist, so I was recovering still. So for the first maybe 3 weeks, I was set back by the great staff that we got, the trainer and our an MC. So I was super ready to like get into it, but I had to set back for a little bit. But I knew I would get into a defensive type of culture, and I was just super open to embrace it and learn from it, just because I wanted to learn. So that was my.
Now you had to have heard when you were being recruited by UVA that it was a top defensive team.
Yeah.
Right.
So I got out of
He had no clue, Mark, how much he was going to have to play. No clue.
Nah, like I actually did my recruit. Like every school that called me or hit my coach in junior college, I did the research, like, because I wasn't taking this opportunity for granted. So I just did all my research, and it's crazy how like I put UVA as best efficiency on defense, and that was like my mark, like that was my bar, you know. And so every other school that came down, like I would just see the ranking and see, okay, that's how they do, blah blah blah, right? And after a while, I just received Tony Bennett's phone call, and I was like, okay, this is the bar that I want to get to. So I got no doubt, like just sign me in, I'm ready.
Were you expecting the first day of practice to be the way it was defensively? Because I've heard rumors that the first few days of practices are like 40 minutes of defensive slides.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I'll start with that. But I mean, again, I was open. Just if this is what it needed to be done to get great on that field, I'll do it. So yes.
Between slides and closeouts, Mark, he hadn't seen that many first week of practice.
For sure, no doubt.
There's not a lot of often when you watch junior college basketball, not a ton of defense. You'll see scores in the hundreds often.
Yeah, it's like the defense comes in, like right after offense in like other programs, where here it's defense first and then offense.
Yeah.
Like, coaches on the sideline, they don't look at offense. Like they have set time where they work on offense, which is minimum, and the rest of practice is defense.
Yeah, sure. The UVA struggled last year with outside shooting and perimeter shooting in the beginning, and it wasn't for a while until you guys got it going. Mm-hmm. What was the difference for you, and did the extended three-point arc have anything to do with the shooting, the transition to becoming a different shooter? Or becoming a better shooter?
I wish I could answer that question, but the injury just like changed everything for me. So I was so focused on making my wrist come back to what it was that I don't even know how to answer that question. But we struggled a lot, and actually I remember one of the team meeting that we scheduled with the guys, where like we actually put it all out and said that each of us need to join in because this is not working. And so at that point, I just reflect personally, and we went through the entire room asking each of us, what was your role in the team? And for me, the role was to make shots. Like, I'm here to be a shooter. Therefore, at that point, I use all my extra time, like after classes or before workouts, to just go back to what I was known for.
At what point during the season was that meeting?
I don't even know. Probably maybe
this was
games in.
This was, Mark, I can help Tom out. This was a players only meeting.
Yeah.
That there were issues offensively, and there were, the chemistry wasn't great, I would say. It wasn't like the year before. And so I think those guys collectively got together, and then to Tom's credit, and I watched it every day, he just put in work. He would get extra shots and extra. So his shooting and our offense taking off was a direct correlation to the amount of time he put in before practice, after practice. And he just, and his confidence grew. You could see it. Like he was flying off screen. He was looking to catch and shoot and let it go. And so one of the other things we told him, Tom, they're running at you. Now you got to work the shot fake.
Yeah.
So, so he started working, shot fake and getting them up. And if I'm not mistaken, you shot faked on that shot.
Yeah.
And so, it was just a product of him putting in all of that work, and he put in the hours. And there's no substitute for hard work.
I tell it to kids all the time. There's no special formula to this.
Yeah.
It's just hours and hours of work, right?
Yeah.
So what are your expectations this year, Tomas?
Expectations. I mean, hoping to play. That's the first one for sure. But I mean, this extra time that we get together might be actually beneficial for as we said, the chemistry. So the more time you bond with the team, the better. So the expectation just can only improve with the time that we put on the court. So the time we spend together, I feel better.
Yep.
Hey, Mark, people don't notice about Tom, but I'm looking in his background. He's a heck of an artist.
We were going to get to that, but go ahead, JWILLY.
Oh, okay.
That is a beautiful picture.
So I'm going to ask, is that something that you did, Tom?
I did. I did not. But I get the credit for designing. So like this is my new room, and so like this angle right here has also a bonsai tree down here.
Yep.
And I built up with this. I built it up.
Okay.
And because Grant, a teammate of mine, he was throwing away some bed frame and stuff. So I just asked him if I could get the wood, and so I got it cut and set it up like that. So
incredible.
I got extra stuff around the house. So.
I know you got a ton of artwork. He does. And Mark, he's a big time. He can draw, man. The dude's big time.
Well, I imagine so, because the National Association of Basketball Coaches just honored you and Austin Castra, right? Academically.
Yes, sir.
So congratulations to you.
Appreciate
What is your GPA?
I think around 3.2 or 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And to put in all that work in basketball, off and on the court and then off the court, to be successful in the classroom is really incredible. I don't know if people really understand that.
Yeah.
Now, you're from Bologna. How far have you been to Rome? Have you been to the Vatican?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been.
And you've seen the Sistine Chapel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay.
It's absolutely beautiful. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Have you taken pictures in there?
Probably. I mean,
you're not supposed to, you know that, right?
Like probably because of like we were with the team and with the tour, and like they just made us do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
But like most of the time we get the chance of like traveling.
Yeah.
Thanks to basketball when we were young. So like we go to tournaments, so, like, and we get the guests, like we become guests of the other teams. So we go and pretty much live their life for like 2 days. And that's awesome. Like it's just now, like remembering all this stuff, and we get the chance to visit the cities, and so I've been a lot around.
Yeah, Vatican is so incredibly impressive. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not liking this talk because we were supposed to be in Rome right now with the team. We were going this summer. That was going to be our summer tour, and that would have been my first time. And it would have been a way to get Tom back home.
Yeah.
And we obviously COVID put a halt to that, but hopefully we can get back and get over to Italy. I think we're going to do it next year.
If you go next year, I volunteer to carry someone's bags and be on that trip. I love Rome. That is an awesome place.
Tom, how's everybody back home doing? They're doing all right?
Yeah, they're doing all right. Thank you for asking.
I know Italy got hit pretty hard early on.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're building up, like they're coming back, so
good.
We'll see in the winter.
Tomas, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck to you. I got to get you to make some art and sign it, send it, so when you become famous, I'm gonna hang it up on my wall.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll be rooting for you.
Tom, you didn't know I had my own show, did you?
I did not. Well, happy to be part of it.
You got to let everybody on the team know, please. And they should be tuning in every other Monday during the summer at 7 o'clock.
Every other Monday.
And once the fall starts, we'll be going every Monday.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you again, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
A good one.
All right, JWILLY, you have a huge clue and a huge hint who your surprise guest is.
I see it right now.
You had no idea. Once again, I was going to actually give you a hint. And tell you he was on the Foch's show last week. The Foch's Corner.
I would have never guessed.
You would have, because I mentioned earlier that he was on the Foch's Corner. I think I did. Or YB did.
YB did.
Yeah. So the very, very colorful, entertaining.
Why am I not surprised? This is his alter ego right here.
What's
Jay
that?
Ford, my man. Hey, I'm reaching out from Florida. You know, we're a hot spot right now, so I got a mask up. No, man. How you doing, buddy? Hey, I wanna.
Hey, nothing's changed with you. Nothing at all.
Yeah, you know, Hey, first of all, thank you for having me on your show.
Oh.
I'm such a big fan and so proud of just what you've gone on to do, and it's so great, like following a former teammate who's just gone to great things. So, thank you for that. You know, for those of you out there who don't know, Jay and I played 3 years, right?
3 years. Yeah.
3 years together. So we had our battles.
Yeah.
We battled in practice. You know, we went at it.
Yeah.
We kept it real cool, but we played the same position. And in college basketball, that means you got to battle because playing time is currency. And you know, I unfortunately came out on the bottom end of most of those battles, but now I've got a little airtime. So as my doctor says, sit still. This might sting a little bit. No, I'm just kidding, man. It's good to see you.
You dressed up for the show, Have.
Hey, man, yeah, we're in Palm Beach. You know how we do down here, right? You know, this is the land of black ties and COVID right now. Hey, I'm just so happy to be here. I've reconnected with Mark and Fresh and everybody. And let's take a minute to talk about Tomas. Like what a really refined, cool, smart, different dude than I knew. So that was really, really neat to see.
Great kid. He's a great kid.
Yeah, I mean, when he talked about walking on campus and it was like a canvas and the light was coming down. I mean, when I walked on campus, I had a different view. But, that's probably not appropriate for the show, but let's just say that impressive kid.
Ham, where were you? I guarantee your first grounds trip wasn't the lawn. It was probably Mad Bowl.
Rugby Road, yeah. I was drawn to Rugby Road like a moth to the flame. You know, I said last week on the coaches show that, you know, after a year or two playing against guys like you and guys like Bryant and Cornell and AO and Harold and like all these great two guards and wings that were coming through, I realized that I could get my number retired on Rugby Road, but maybe not at U-Haul. So
at the Biltmore, you got to retire at the Biltmore.
Biltmore, you know, I gotta give credit. Biltmore was Red's spot. Rest in peace, Big Red. But that was his spot.
Yeah.
And you know, we had a lot of fun though, man. We were together a lot, and thank you for being who you are and keeping a lot of people really happy with UVA basketball.
No, it's good. Good.
Hey, Chris.
So I got a couple questions. So Mark, can I jump in?
Absolutely. I was just going to ask you, do you have questions for?
This is your show, Have, or
yeah, I know, Mark.
Whatever you're going by now.
Mark, sit back and relax. You got the next half hour off. So, you know, Jay, when I knew I was coming on, I had to reach out to the UVA fan base. And I'm getting a little high. I want to get my pocket square in there. It's all right. I reached out to the UVA fan base from coast to coast, and I collected some questions, hard-hitting questions. These are questions that, you know, have not been pre-screened. And I know you're nervous right now, but as I said, as a doctor, sit back, hold still. This might sting for a little bit. The first question I have here comes from Chad Phillips in Screaming Goat, Montana. He's a big fan. And he asks, if you are trapped on a deserted island with Rihanna, no, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm going to go to my questions because some of those are inappropriate. Those are inappropriate. I'm going to ask real questions now, okay? So, you know, the first thing I'll ask is, and I know you spend so much time looking at who's going to come next. At the beginning part of the show, you talked about the young guys, and you had, you know, a great feel for what you saw last time you saw them and how they are now. And there's improvement. If you think about your eye now for recruiting and the lens you look through, would you recruit yourself back in the day? An 18-year-old Jason Williford, would you?
No.
Okay, why?
I wouldn't, because it wouldn't be a Tony Bennett fit. I wasn't a great shooter. He liked shooters and ball handlers, especially at my position. But I think he would have liked the toughness and the defense and the rebounding. But he likes completeness offensively on the perimeter. So I probably wouldn't have, I would have been a plan B. I wouldn't have been an A-list guy. I would have gone for more completeness, more ability to shoot the ball.
Okay, well, I can appreciate certainly the toughness and the defense, because I had to play against it for a long time, and it wasn't fun to be on the other side of that. I had the chance to see you really grow from a first year through your third year, and saw you improve. Talk to me about your development as a coach and how you've improved since kind of your first job at BU with Coach Wolf.
Yeah, back then, quite honestly, I was like the same way I played. I was that fiery, competitive, in-your-face kind of coach, and that didn't work for everybody. And so as I've gotten older, yes, you at times have to be that way, but you can't be that way all the time with everybody. And so over my years, I think I figured out what buttons I can push with certain guys and when I need to put my arm around other guys. But early on, I mean, there are a couple guys, if I had to go back to BU and AU and do it over again, I'd apologize to just the way I was on them and constantly, and their personalities couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
And so I've been able to adjust that over the years, and I've gotten better at that. So I would just say just my demeanor and how I deal with different personalities.
You know, recruiting is a lot different probably than it was from when you got recruited. And certainly player development at the schools is a lot different in terms of the training, in terms of the schedule. Talk to me a little bit about that. We had a very, kind of set program in terms of running in the morning and practice in the afternoon, lifting. Like, how is it different now versus what we went through?
It's gotten way more scientific, and like Mike Curtis is, he's cutting edge with his strength and conditioning. And ours was kind of, for lack of a better word, we were cookie cutter. So everybody did the same thing. So like, this is more, the way we do it now is specific to each kid's body makeup. So as guards, we all lifted the way, everybody did the same thing. As bigs, you did the same thing. And so from a development standpoint, as far as getting bigger and stronger and quicker, the strength and conditioning aspect has become way more specific to each kid's body type, how much they can put on. There's certain kids that just don't have range of motion in their hips. And that's a genetic thing sometimes that allows them to get in certain positions to slide and do certain things. And, Mike Curtis is cutting edge with all of that. So we were more cookie cutter. And I think the other piece is the diet. We would have Burger King and McDonald's the night before games, in the locker.
After doing an hour-long film study, there'd be 60 quarter pounders and cheese that we didn't order. That was what we got.
That was what the staff gave us. So I think, just the detail to nutrition and conditioning. And then the other thing, Chris, we're allowed as coaches to work with them in the summer. You couldn't do that when we were in school. You play pickup and you lift weights. That's, you know, it was kind of basketball, you were on your own. And so, you know, it's evolved to where it really is year round now, where we're with them. I mean, it's gone from where we had, you know, we went and worked Lakeland. We had some time to go. We're with these guys and we're doing basketball skill development in the summer as coaches. So it's totally different from when we play.
Yeah. How much of like the advanced metrics stuff do you do? I know, you know, players are evaluated differently and their top speed on the court. Are you guys at that level? Like,
yeah, Mike does a lot more of that. Now as far as the basketball, you know, stuff where, you know, it's threes or layups and, you know, don't you know, take away the in-between game, which I think a lot of the NBA analytics are going to. We're not that at all. But Mike Curtis is very specific about load management, heart rate. Like he monitors all of that specific stuff. Those guys are wearing chips and all kind of stuff during practice and games that monitors are, you know, kind of the output and force and you know, what capacity they're capable of doing each practice, each game. So it's way over my head, Chris, but I think it's an advantage that we have. I mean, over the years, you followed the team. We wear people down, and I think it's a product of the way Mike implements his system that we're better towards end of games because of the training and the way we do our training.
Yeah, no, that's important. You know, we were, and I thought, you know, when we played, I thought we were relatively advanced, but things move quickly, certainly in that area. I want to do a quick lightning round with you,
All right.
Will, on some word association. So you gotta do the first word that comes to mind on some of these people, okay? And it can be followed by an explanation if you feel it needs to be explored. So I want to start with Bobby Big House Graves.
Bobby, intelligent.
See, I would have said leaper, but no, you're probably right. You're probably right. Okay, let's move down the list. We have Mark Bogosh.
Wow. Enigma. Where is he?
You know what? We told the story the other day. He vanished in the Vegas airport into the night and ended up in Hawaii.
He's probably back in the Caribbean working on somebody on a boat again.
He might be. We might need to do a investigative report, either a JWILLY or a locker room access. Where is Mark Bogosh?
We'll let Fresh go find him.
Yeah, but Mark, if you're out there, you're still part of the family, man. Look us up. Talk to me, okay, Hawker Club Team or Hawker Club Team.
The Icelandic team?
Yeah, man. Talk to me about that.
They don't even exist anymore.
Okay.
I don't know. I got no clue.
Okay.
They have. It's funny. We got one of the girls who, Dominique Toussaint, who played and just graduated, is going to Iceland. So I'll have to find out if that team's still around.
They might be. I got to tell you, I didn't know you were there, but you know, I played handball. You saw handball over there.
I'll tell a story. My first experience at Iceland, first day of practice. I go to practice. They don't have practice uniforms. Had no clue I was supposed to bring my own practice stuff.
Yeah.
Then we get there and we go for 45 minutes, right? We get kicked off the floor for Herker, the club handball team.
Oh, yeah.
They were hands down the priority in Iceland.
Well, you know, it's a big time sport there. You know, I got into it. It's a long story, but I ended up playing for the U.S. national team.
Yeah.
And I started playing in a couple tournaments, but there's no one to play in the U.S. So we had to go play in Europe. And we were invited to the World Championship in Reykjavik. You know the Giant Stadium?
Yep.
So we're there. I am playing it, and there it seats like, I don't know, it seats like 40,000 people or whatever. It's like a big, it's the biggest thing that's happened to Iceland in a while.
No doubt.
I'm getting into I'm checking into the game. I don't know the rules. Like, I know about half of the rules. And, but that's a big time sport. All the basketball guys
over there.
Huh?
They love handball over there.
Yeah, it's a cool sport. It's got its challenges to grow here, but it was a fun way to kind of just transition out of basketball. Last one. I know you can't really talk about recruits because of all the rules and regulations. How has recruiting changed for you now that you guys have won the national championship? Is that obviously you go into the living room with a little more swagger, but swagger's not the right word for UVA, maybe a little bit more confidence. Have you guys enjoyed the extended reigning national championship?
We haven't landed anybody yet in 21, but we're working. But there are a lot more folks that are receptive to the orange and blue now when we call or we show up. So we made a lot of believers out of folks, and
yeah, well,
it's been good.
I got to tell you, my one of my last memories with my dad passed the day after they won, and I spent the night with him watching us win the national championship, and that's a special memory for me and to have with him. So I wanted to thank you for that. I also got to tell Mark, I got to tell a story about JWILLY, a good one. And I know on the program, Tony and Jay have talked about the pillars around the program and what that means. And, I got to tell you, I got a birthday message from JWILLY, who I haven't talked to in probably 10 years, like live. I got a birthday video for him on my 50th birthday, which was about 2 weeks ago, out of nowhere. And, it warmed my heart, Jay. It made me think of all the good times we had. And just know you got a big time family down here that loves UVA. And I can't wait to see you again. I hope it's sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. I appreciate you jumping on. This has been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And YB is right. I did save him from calling the cops when he graffitied his car. Love you, man.
Hey, yeah, man. Say hi to the fam.
Thanks so much,
man. You too.
And next time you come on, I'm expecting a different outfit. Last week on the Foch's Corner, you had the sunglasses and the cowboy hat.
Yeah,
incredible surprise.
When you're meeting with someone like Jason Williford, you got to put your best foot forward. So I went black tie.
Hey.
Next week could be something different. But I love seeing you guys. Love what you're doing. And
hey, I'm glad you got clothes on.
Hey, we can talk about that.
Don't give him any ideas, please.
Hey, Chris, love you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Love you too, brother. Peace out.
Talk to you soon. He is hilarious.
Oh my God.
Hysterical. Last week he told some good stories.
Nothing's changed.
I should have talked about that fight we had to break up between y'all two.
He's been that way forever, man.
That's next week, YB. You share that. You can share you broke up the fight between JWILLY and Chris Havlicek.
Have talked about it. We used to battle. It was competition for sure.
I thought YB might have been talking about a specific fight.
Yeah, it was. It was just one.
Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we won't. JWILLY, any parting words for our audience?
No, I just everybody stay safe, stay positive, and make sure you tune in to YB Wednesdays.
My man.
All right, folks, in 2 weeks, we will be back here live for another episode of the JWILLY Show. For Jason Williford, I'm Mark Jerome, giving you locker room access with the J. Willie Show. YB, get busy on the ones and twos.
All right, see what we do.
I was a fiend before I became a teen. I'm on the microphone instead of cones of ice cream, music orientated. So when hip hop was originated, fitted like pieces of puzzles, they're complicated. Cause I grab the mic and try to say yes, y'all. They try to take it. They say that I'm too small. Cool. Cause I don't get upset. I kick the hole in the speaker, pull a plug, then I jet. Dance with my dogs in the nighttime. With the chickens like bye-bye. Money changing colors like that. But you trying to get it, I ain't trying to die. No, I'm gonna think of when you put it in the world. And they put you wrist, just like it's their spot. Hold the man's down. Put your man's down. Who fucking come around? Get the trap down.
Here's a little story I got to tell about three bad brothers.
I know you know what's up with this, Mark.
Started way back in history with that rhyme me.
I know you look like you wanted to be a Beastie Boy.
I went to school with one of them. High school.
Kicking up stairs, started parties on my desk, 'cause I'm in demand. One more need be